What's up, and welcome to Budget Breakers. I'm here to help you learn how to get out of debt, build wealth, and live an amazing life. Let's get started. Confession number one: pay off auto loan 100% now or 90% now and the rest in 6 months. I just got an auto loan with an APR of around 9%. I can afford to pay everything immediately and still have enough emergency fund. Should I do that, or should I pay off like 90% and pay the rest in 6 months to improve my credit score? This is my first loan, so it can add to my credit mix. My credit score is above 750, and I plan to buy a house next 2 to 3 years. Please do not just keep debt around to improve your credit score. Never intentionally keep debt. Pay it off. You will save money on interest. You got a 9% interest rate, which is not cheap debt, and you will never have to pay money to the bank again for this car. And your credit score is already above 750. It doesn't matter at this point. Confession number two: boneheaded debt. I bought a car yesterday for $24,000 at 18% interest rate, which brings me to about $37,000 altogether. I have monthly payments of nearly $500 for 75 months. I'm so stressed that I can't sleep or eat. I also have other credit card debt and personal loans in the amount of $3,500. The worst part is I only make around $40,000 a year before taxes. I am panicking so bad. I don't know what to do. Please never buy a car that costs $24,000 if you're making $40,000 a year. That is a death sentence right then and there. When it comes to what are your options with this, some dealerships might have a time period that you can return the car. You might have to pay a penalty fee, but check and see. Go to the dealership, see if there's options to that, and pay that fee. Get rid of the car. If not, the other options are see if you can sell it and not lose money on it. Try to attack this debt as quickly as possible, but it sounds very difficult to do that with your income. You can also look at refinancing the car with a local credit union, see if you get below an 18%. Or definitely look in to see if you can take it back to the dealership, see if there's some sort of penalty or time period that you can return the car that you just purchased from them. Confession number three: debt caused by sports gambling. For 2 years, I had a bad problem with sports gambling. I'm incredibly embarrassed and ashamed I even let it get to me. I maxed out my credit cards, took out 2 personal loans to try to get myself out of this hole. I'm 2 months removed from this, and I swore it off entirely. But I'm afraid it might be too late. No one knows how deep I'm into this. I've sold most of my personal belongings, and I have no more options. No one knows the hole I'm in. I'm 28. I work full-time for a family company. I make about $1,900 bi-weekly, with an additional $100 to $1,000 a month depending on my sales. I have $25 to my name at the moment with no savings. I have $5,000 in a 401k I'm trying to get a loan from. It only allowed me $1,000. It hasn't come through yet. I tried applying for other loans, but I was rejected. All my credit cards are maxed. I have a $600 Capital One card, $10,000 with Chase, another $5,500 with Chase, $3,000 with Citizens, $2,400 with Apple, $4,500 with Bank of America, $5,600 loan from SoFi, $4,500 loan from Lending Club, and $3,000 loan with my brother. Rent is $1,125 a month that I split with my girlfriend. Any help and advice is appreciated. I plan to talk to my dad about this tomorrow. I don't have any relatives that can loan me this money. My girlfriend thinks I'm saving up for a down payment for a ring and house when I've just been building debt the entire time. I've been so incredibly depressed about all of this, but I'm going to do whatever it takes to make this right. Well, first, you're deciding to make a change with this in your life. And I'm proud of you for being 2 months removed from this gambling problem. Now the plan of action has to be, how are you going to get out of this? Who can you have hold you accountable? Definitely need to be having conversations with your dad and your girlfriend to have a support system around this. They're not going to disown you. They're not going to hate you, but having someone hold you accountable and understand the inner pain that you're going through, the inner problems, and make sure that you are being smart about your finances. All hope is not lost. It's just a matter of you're going to have to strip down to the bare bones. You have $1,100 a month in rent, but you're bringing in $3,800. You need to be saving or throwing $2,000 of this every single month towards these debts. And it might look like getting a second job as well for a short time period to have more money every single month to throw this debt. But you said you want to do anything possible to get out of this. You're going to be working long nights and weekends at another job. You're going to not be going on vacation. You're not going to be shopping, but you have to start budgeting. You have to start only using your debit card, and you have to start throwing every single dollar you can possibly at this. Confession 4: should you save while paying off debt? I have 30,000 pounds of credit card debt, and I currently have set up for that budget where a third of my salary is going towards paying the minimum payment on all my credit cards. I'm currently trying to save 400 pounds a month to build up my savings, given that I currently have 50 pounds of my savings. Is building a savings while paying minimum payments a good idea, or should I allocate the funds towards my debt? You're not going to out-earn credit card debt. If you have $10,000 worth of credit card debt and you have a 20% interest rate on that, you are paying $2,000 a year roughly in interest towards that loan. There's no point in saving up money when you have that, because money sitting in your checking account and your high yield savings account is going to earn you 3, 4, 5 maybe even 0% interest on that. So throw all your money in your debt. Don't worry about saving. Once you get out of this debt, then you can start worrying about your saving. Confession number 5. I bought my first car at 24.99% APR. What do? I got screwed. I know that now. My credit score is 683. I don't know what percent I should be looking for, and I don't really have anyone in my life I can go to for this advice. I bought the car when I was 20 years old, 3 years ago, and I was dumb as can be. Now I wish I'd done literally any research beforehand. I'm struggling really bad financially as a result. First, what you need to do is write down a budget and start tracking your expenses. That is the first step of getting out of debt, is understanding where your money's going. Step 2 is look at your options for this car loan and figure out, can you go to a credit union? Can you go get another loan that is a lower interest rate? So you're not paying 24% interest on this car loan, and that should lower your monthly car payment. But everything that you're saving on top of that needs to be going towards paying this credit, needs to be going towards paying this car off as quickly as possible. Budget, see if you can refinance it somewhere else, start picking up a second job, third job, whatever needs to be to get this car paid off as quickly as possible. Confession number 6. So I helped my girlfriend with debt. My girlfriend has $18,500 in credit card debt. We've been together for 4 years this coming December. We've talked about getting engaged and married eventually. This past year, I cleared all of my credit card debt, and she is struggling with hers. Interest alone is killing her. I have money saved in a high-yield savings account that I was going to put towards a down payment for a house for us. Does it make sense to pull money from a high-yield savings account and clear her debt? She would then pay me back monthly $1,200 for however long it takes. First, you should not do this. What you need to do is help your girlfriend change her bad habit. That means you need to sit down with her. You need to help her understand and learn how to budget and start setting up a plan so she can start paying this debt off as quickly as possible. But if she's struggling to pay her minimum payments every single month, she's going to struggle paying you $1,200 a month. And that's just going to cause relationship issues. The other thing is buying a house right now when she's in this much credit card debt. If y'all are trying to go 50-50 on this house, or if y'all are trying to do this together, then that's just going to cause her more financial burden as well, because she doesn't have the money to do it. She doesn't have the money to help when stuff breaks. So I would suggest staying away from that. If you want to buy a house in your name solely and she pays your rent, that could be a route you go. But since you're not married, you should not be paying off her credit card debt. But what you need to do is sit her down, help her figure out her financial plan, and move forward. Confession number 7. I'm wondering if I made the right decision. I'm 32 years old, living in California. I work a 9 to 5, making $75,000 a year, but with income and taxes, my recent rent increase. I work at 9 to 5, making $75,000 a year, but with income taxes and my recent rent increase to $1,700 a month, I can barely make ends meet. Gas is extremely expensive here too, so I'm spending quite a bit going to and from work. I had $20,000 in savings, but $10,000 of credit card debt that was stressing me out. I ended up taking $10,000 from my savings to pay that off. Was that a smart decision, or should I always prioritize having more in savings for emergency situations? This was a very smart financial decision. You're not going to out-earn credit card debt. You have money in your savings account and you're carrying a balance on your credit card. You are giving the bank free money that you have. Credit card debt is not cheap. Pay it off always. Do not keep money in a 3, 4, 5% high-yield savings account when you're getting destroyed by 20% plus interest rates. Confession number 8. Pay off $10,000 in student loans or treat it like a cheap loan. I have $10,000 in student loans that I'll have to start servicing this month. The average interest rate is only 4.5%. I graduated in 2021, but I've accumulated over $150,000 in savings with my income the last 2 years, so I could pay this off easily. But given the state of rates right now where I can get 5% plus, I'm thinking of letting the loans be treated like cheap debt where I earn a small spread with my investments. Are there any flaws in my thinking here? You have $150,000 worth of cash. You can pay off this debt tomorrow and still have $140,000 left over. There's no reason to try to arbitrage $10,000 in student loans when stuff in a high-yield savings account is going to be taxed as well. So you're not going to be making money on that. If you're investing in the stock market, there's risk. So I would pay this off tomorrow, be debt-free, never have to worry about it again. You are trying to arbitrage such a small amount, whether it's 1% or 2% difference a year that you could out-earn the cheap interest. That's only a couple $100. Pay it off, be debt-free, and enjoy your life debt-free. Well, that's it for today. If you learned something from Budget Breakers today, I would really appreciate if you hit the like and subscribe button. I'm trying to help the world learn more about finances, get out of debt, and build wealth.